Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking this time out to listen. This message is directed to those individuals who have gotten themselves in a bind with someone who unfortunately has a mental disorder. Now, this particular individual may have gone to the church and got prayed for. They may be taking medication. They may not be taking medication. Some could be just dealing with issues through alcohol and legal as well as illegal drugs. But whatever is causing them to act up, if you will, you forgive them for their craziness. Some of you all started off in your lives meeting people, enjoying the company of them, going places, having a good time. You were in your 20s, possibly in your 30s, when you met a person who you thought was going to be someone who you could spend the rest of your life with. But there was only one problem. This crazy, if you will, this negativity, this weird behavior, this controlling spirit that they had, this jealousy, this fetish or fetishes that they struggled with. They would come and they would go. And you would forgive that crazy man. You would dismiss craziness. You would say, oh, that's just how he is. He would even convince you that that's how he is. And you said, it's okay, it's all right, I want to stick it out with you until for some of you all, you got hit one time and one time only, and that was the end of it. Until he took something from you, and then you said, I'm not going to deal with that. Oh no, not at all. Crazy has a way of showing up and showing out. And then, if crazy is permitted to act crazy, then people will welcome all sorts of activity. Crazy has sisters and brothers, personalities that show up depending on the mood. Some other issues that show up if things trigger within one's mind, things start to click. And some people just assume that it's okay, it's all right. Now, some didn't walk out of those relationships. No, they're still in them. They're still excusing all sorts of crazy behavior. These people are reasoning within their minds that it's okay if he acts up. I accepted it. That's the way it is. The rules of the relationship are that if I do what he tells me to do, I will not get this, that, or the other to happen to me. Do you walk on eggshells? For some people, yes, they do. Do you end up having some moments where you wish that you could just run far away? Yes, you do. Do you have your own crazy episodes, your anger outbursts, your lying and deceiving and cursing? Yes, you do. And then all the while you cry, wishing that you never met this person, going to the Lord and praying, relieve me. And God said a long time ago, I didn't want you to be with this person. I used people to tell you. I used miracle signs and wonders. And yet you still think that things are going to get better. So beaten down, so broken, so mentally disturbed in so many ways, just as crazy as crazy. That is the reality for many, many women in relationships. They have turned into their abuser. They are fighting back and they're thinking that they're winning. And the reality is that they're not winning anything. Instead, they are still bound to crazy. So how does one break free, if ever? Sometimes it takes a traumatic event that will click a person's mind, if you will, back into reality. Maybe the loss of a loved one. Maybe some internal issue, some health issue. Maybe the person ends up just doing something so wrong, so terrible, or so petty that finally something in the mind says, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not going to excuse your crazy behavior. I'm not going to justify anything, explain anything, or do one more thing for you. I don't owe you anything. I just want to go and get away and never come back again. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Somebody has broken programming, you see. They have gotten to that place in their mindset where they are no longer going to put up with anything else. They're no longer going to shut up. They're no longer going to do anything that is going to hurt them mentally, physically, and spiritually. So they stop the abuse. They stop the child abuse, the sexual abuse, the crazy abuse, the whatever abuse that's taking place. They stop it because they can't take it. The physical abuse, the nonverbal abuse, the verbal abuse, they can't take it. Emotional abuse, all of that. Enough is enough. Oh, crazy. I know he's crazy, but I love him. And I know sometimes he tends to act up, but if you would just understand, then maybe he wouldn't. I know I need to do X, Y, and Z, and maybe if I do it, he'll stop. These are the conversations that go in the mind of a person who is in an abusive relationship. Justifying, trying to make sense out of nonsense, encouraging the crazy person to get help, and they don't want to do it. I'm fine, it's you, you're the problem. How about you go get on some drugs? How about you talk to a doctor? Why don't you take care of this, that, and the other? Because I'm fine. That's what crazy says. When crazy doesn't want to admit that he's crazy. Then there are those that they will admit, yes, I am out there. I do crazy stuff. And so what? You're still with me now. Shut up and quit talking about it. And so the victim stays. The victim stays. The only way that some people will get to a point of breaking free from crazy is that they have to within themselves say enough is enough. They have to within themselves say, I can no longer take this and I don't want to be a part of it. And until they reach that point where they say that I'm walking away from toxic relationships, I'm not going to put up with name calling and weird behaviors and eye rolls and deep sighs, until a person gets to that point where they are no longer feeding off of whatever is going on with that crazy man, they will stay where they are. Now, we're not just talking about intimate relationships at this point. We're also talking about workplace relationships. Let's get into that. Workplace relationships that are toxic, but people love the money so much, but sometimes people love the drama too. I don't know if I'll ever find another job quite like this. I don't know if I'll ever have a boss, that is as interesting as this character. That character could be abusive today, name calling, disrespectful, eye rolling, critical, everything else. The next day, here's a gift. Here, you can take a day off. Oh, here's some tickets to some place. Oh, could you do this for me? And then I'll do that for you. And favors are exchanged. And then you're back into crazy cycle all over again. Crazy can be abusive on the job as well. You know you should be looking for another job, but yet you want to be there for crazy. Crazy says, I can't live without you. I can't work without you. You're the best. You're the greatest. You're the most wonderful. What would I do without you? Lord Jesus. Some will do just about anything to stay with crazy if there's some type of benefit. Because it's rough out here, and I don't know. So far, nothing's coming through. So I'm just going to take what I can get. And crazy says, yes. Put you up in a little cage. Start saying all sorts of things to you to try to keep you where you shouldn't be. Opportunities come and you say no to those opportunities because you're holding out for crazy. Crazy said that they're going to hook you up with a bunch of crazy money. Crazy on the job said that they were going to pay for this, that, and the other. Crazy said that if you just stick it out with me, you're going to go places, when the reality is that he doesn't even know if he's going to have a job. She doesn't even know if she's going to be able to even promote you, much less give you the money that you're asking for. But Crazy doesn't care, just so long as Crazy gets what he or she wants in the moment. I will tell a lie. I will be immoral. I will act up. I will give people things, and then I will take them back if I have to. Lord Jesus. And some employees, aka slaves, continue to work and work and work while their spirits are drained. They come in from the world into their little homes only to feel drained. Hoping, wishing, praying. Somebody is manipulating them from the start. If you keep coming back, if you keep doing this, if you keep doing that, I will be sure to give you this. I will be sure to give you that. And sure, they might do a few things. But victims usually give them the pass on all the other things. Victims usually don't want to see when they're being played. Victims want to believe the lie. Victims are lazy at times and don't want to look for better opportunities. Sometimes victims are just as crazy. And so, therefore, they feed off of one another. All this message is just an awareness to show you that if you're in this type of relationship, this crazy relationship, get out while you still have your sanity. Because one day, sanity's going to leave, and you're going to be just as crazy as crazy. Thanks for listening.